he's just predicting, 3 to 5 years. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win one, but it means going all in every year to win one. And they're not going to do that next year. Like, they'll build a team that can maybe make the postseason. They are not, under any circumstances, after the trade of Verlander, putting together a team that can legitimately go out there and compete for a World Series, and that crushes me.
Okay, I hear you. I actually look at the Mets as incredibly adaptable and very forward-thinking. And I'm giving Steve Cohen credit, recognizing the reality of where this franchise is. That's got to be a monster blow to his ego based on the 3 to 5 year timeline that he identified when he took over the team.
Right.
So for him to hit the reset reboot button, it's crushing him inside. But he's doing the right thing. And I'm going to
But what about next year, though, BT? That's my problem. Like, this year, you're right.
Okay.
And I'm fine with Scherzer. I said it was the greatest trade in Mets history, or one of, with dumping Max Scherzer. I don't care about Robertson or Pham or Ken or whatever. Like, that means nothing.
Gotcha.
Those are the right moves. Matter of fact, you could argue they should have done more if they had takers for Brooks, really, whatever. Verlander was the one that, who the hell is going to be pitching for this team next year? And then when you hear some of the other stuff, it just makes you feel like they're not going to go all in next year. That's something I don't want to go into the season next year. Oh, they could have a nice wild card team. No, it should be all in.
I got something for you, and I'm going to personalize it for you. And I don't know if this will make you feel better, but it very well might. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe I have the year right because I did research on my partner. 2003, you started as an intern here at the Fan?
Yes, January of 2003.
Okay.
Those were the days.
Wow, January of 2003.
Yeah,
Jeez.
you believe that?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Which actually bolsters my point even more. So one thing that I've always known about you is that you always wanted to be a key player here at the Fan.
Right.
That was your dream.
Of course.
And the Newsday article that Neil Best wrote, who's never written a nice thing about, never written anything about me. I don't even know if he, that's why Neil Best means nothing to me. Always been more of a race
my guy Neil alone. Will you?
I know what you've always aspired to. Now, if I told you, not that I knew you in 03, but if Mike or Chris or Chernoff or Spitzy, somebody that ran the show here, if they told you in 2003, Sal, in 2023, you're going to get your wish.
Right.
It is going to come to fruition, and your dream that you've always aspired to and has always made very, very publicly known, you're going to finally get it. You would probably be there at that point saying, geez, I got to wait 20 years for this.
20 years?
But you got it.
Right.
And here you are.
Right.
And you've earned it, and you're touching your dream, and you're killing it. Now,
right, but at the time,
I understand that.
I get
I'm talking about timelines and time frames and expectations and the reality.
But when do you tell? When's this paying
the Mets
off?
will win the World Series in 2046, so get ready for a long
Get
time.
out of here. I'll be dead.
What I'm saying is, don't get too wrapped up in the time frame. Embrace the fact that you finally have a smart franchise.
But how do I know that they're going? Look, I do trust Steve Cohen. I've been telling you I like Billy Epler more than anybody else. If there's one person in this town that has defended Billy Epler's moves, it's me. Nobody else. Everybody else is making fun of you,
I wouldn't take too much credit for that. I don't know if that's a good thing.
Well, but now you're telling me that they're a smart organization. Billy Epler did a great job at the trade deadline because he had no choice. This is, to me, not about Billy Epler. It's about the owner. I want them to go all in next year. Who's pitching for this team next year? That's what bothers me. It's not about the return. It's not about the prospects. It's not even about that 3 to 5 year window, because I knew when he said that, like, money can't buy championships. But what I took from that, as opposed to the literal 3 to 5 years we're going to win a championship, was he's going to do his best to try. Hell or high water, I'm going to do whatever I can to bring a championship here in the next 3 to 5 years. Not 1 year and it flops and then back off that plan.
Well, can he give an off season? You don't think he's going to load up this winter?
No, I don't.
Wait, so you don't think that he's going after Ohtani?
I don't.
I do.
I don't think it's happening.
Well, I don't know if he's going to accept the terms, but he's definitely going to be in the conversation for Ohtani.
Two things about Ohtani. Tell me what the two criteria would be for him that you
winning
know.
And money.
Well,
winning and money.
Winning, number one.
Yep.
What's the other one, though, that we know about Ohtani?
He doesn't like change.
Well, no.
That's one of the
things. Where does he
things.
prefer to play?
Probably the West Coast,
Okay,
if that's still true.
So let's say he prefers to play on the West Coast,
Yep.
and he wants winning. The Mets are neither. They're neither. So they're out on Ohtani. And I said yesterday, Ohtani or bust. I want to come on here today and say Ohtani or bust. If you're telling me, they signed Ohtani in the offseason, different story. I'd be happy, Sal. I'd be excited, Sal. I'd be talking about King Cohen and Billy Epler being the greatest. For now, I don't believe they're getting Shohei Ohtani. I don't even think they're going to be in the conversation. And this brings me back to the BC Mets before Cohen. This was supposed to be different. That's why I'm upset, because the trade of Verlander, while it's great to restock the farm and get the prospects, and I get why certain people are excited, it means to me that they are pulling back from going all in. This was an all-in year. It didn't work. It doesn't mean it wasn't the right mentality.
Yeah.
I want all in next year.
Okay, but just because you're all in for a while, see, to me, that's like, I'll give you an example. That's like going to play cards, right? Pick your favorite casino in Vegas or AC, whatever. And you go in, and you've got a predetermined amount of money. And it's all relative. I don't want to lose more than 500. I don't want to lose more than 20,000. Obviously, it varies for everybody, okay? And you're having a rough night. I mean, you're pulling 19s and 20s. They're flopping 5 and 6 card 21s. Yeah, you're splitting queens. They're banging 5 card 21s. I mean, nothing's going right, okay? You have the bankroll, you have the plan, and you've got the stomach to lose a little bit, but you don't know when to leave. See, at least to me, this signifies that the Mets know when to leave the casino. This core is not good enough.
See, I'm a double down guy, BT.
Oh, I love
I'm
double-
not leaving the casino. I'm walking out of here shirtless, pantless if I have to. But I'm going down trying. That's the difference.
I hear you.
And it's happened,
Yeah, by the way, I'm not that different from that. I'm also the guy, like, it's happened where, and this sucks, where if your bank is like my bank, where you have a certain allotment of money that you can take out a certain day. So say if you take out whatever it is, $300, $400, $500, and maybe you lose it, and it's excuse me.
God
Pardon
bless
me.
you.
Wow.
All right.
Very rarely sneeze on the air. Excuse me. And you're out of money.
It's like seeing a shooting star, seeing somebody sneeze on the air.
That's
I like
very
that.
rare,
Yeah,
right? I don't know that that's ever happened to me, actually. Thank you.
All right.
And I usually hit the cough button. I do, but I was so immersed in my casino story.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so you're playing cards, you're shirtless, you're getting drubbed by the dealer, and you want to go back and get more money, but it's like 11, 12, and it's not quite the next day, and you have to wait till like midnight so you can get the next denomination, $500. Oh, my God.
I've been there before, too.
Me too.
But I'm doubling down.
Okay.
I need Steve Cohen to double down.
He's going to.
And by the way, I'm not saying reckless or stupid.
Yeah.
But I need more than we're going to be, a team that's going to compete for the wild card next year.
Can I ask you a question? Because you brought up Will Pond. What did you say, WP?
No. I was saying the BC Mets before Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So before Cohen, same thing, or with we're saying the same thing before Cohen or with the Will Ponds. Do you think now we don't know the answer as to what Ohtani's going to do? Do you think that Cohen will have a massive check for Ohtani? Just yes or no? Just yes or no?
I think.
Come on, dude. You don't have to think about that. The answer is yes. Come on.
But it's not
Sal.
happening. It's so
okay. But that's two different conversations.
Now remember, you're talking to somebody that said all year long, there's no way Cohen's going to be outbid. He may not get him, but he's not going to be outbid.
Okay.
I'm not so sure that's the case anymore after hearing him talk a couple of weeks ago, after now watching what the Mets are doing here.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that that's the case. Is it possible still? Yeah.
But he's coming to the party. He's going to try to sit.
I don't think so. I really don't think so, because I think the Mets are under the understanding that he prefers to play on the West Coast, Ohtani, and that he wants to win. The Mets aren't winning right now.
Okay,
if they just, again, I know we'll get into this later. If they just hold Scherzer and Verlander, basically, we're punting next year. Not in those words, not as harsh, but what do you think, Ohtani's be like, yes, sign me up?
Probably not. But again, that wasn't my premise. I would just ask you whether or not you think that Cohen will come armed with a check. I do, you don't. All right, we disagree, that's fine. I can promise you that there was no chance in hell that the Wilpons were coming with any check.
Right.
So right away, you're better. I get
understand,
it. Today
but
sucks.
Yeah, that's the point.
I
BT.
get it.
And it's not just about this season. I can accept. See, this is me, the Met fan, saying I can accept this year's failure. It happens. I respect the way that they went out there. They went all in. They said, we're going to build a championship team. Here it is. It flopped. It happens. But that doesn't mean then you shy away and say, oh, no, we got to totally change course here and now build the farm system up and not spend as much money next year. No, I can't handle that. Rich is in Staten Island. What's up, Rich?
Hey, Rich.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good.
BT, I called this show plenty of times this year, complaining to you about my season tickets, complaining to you about, Steve Cohen.
Yeah, no, I
and
remember.
I got to tell you, this is the first time I'm actually happy. I am so happy.
Yeah.
Sal, you called me an idiot a few weeks ago when you were filling in for Evan in the afternoon drive.
Sal did,
That doesn't
not me.
sound
Yeah,
like
that
me.
sound-
I don't really do that. Maybe I had a wrong guy. I must have
A
been
rough day
Tiki
for
or
Sal.
somebody. Yeah.
He wasn't feeling well.
Yeah. So, listen, I just got to say something. Sal, you yelled at me and screamed at me about how I said Cohen needs to stay out of certain free agent things, and you kept telling me, Rich, he's trying to win you a championship. He waved the white flag, and I'm actually happy. You want to know why? He said, you know what? This isn't working. What's he going to do? Sign? What happens if he fails with Ohtani this season and he's left with Scherzer, Verlander, all these aging guys?
Well, what's your plan? So what's your plan for next year? What makes you so happy? What's your plan?
Because we finally have a decent farm system. Not saying we have number one. We finally have some prospects.
Okay, and what good is that? That's great.
To.
That's great. What is that? I'm asking you about next year, competing to win a World Series. That's my goal. I don't know about what yours is.
I don't care about next year, Sal.
Oh, so what do you care about? Again, let me ask you, what do you care about? The farm system?
Yes, I care about building a farm system. I don't care about putting one. Sal, listen to me. If you put a team on the field for 1 year, you yelled at me and said 101 wins, Rich. You don't care about 101 wins? I said, no, I care about a ring. Look, so 101 wins is irrelevant.
Right.
Because even Cohen
No, so you care about a farm
said,
system. You care about a farm. This is why I called you an idiot. You're explaining it again. You don't care about a 101-win season. You don't care about getting to the playoffs. You don't care about going out there and trying to perform at a high level. You care about the farm system. That's what you care about.
101 wins with a sustained, successful team is different than 101 wins with guys that are going to go in the
So what are they doing next year, Rich?
They're going to just fill some voids with 1 to 2 year contracts. What's the problem with that? And this is
They're
way
punting.
Better than
They're punting. You know what
yes,
that means, right?
I agree with you.
And you
we
like that?
Agree.
Okay, so do you like that?
I do like that.
So that's where we disagree. I'm not going to call you an idiot and thank you for the goal. That's where we disagree. He's okay, BT, with punting another year. I'm not. And I don't want to hear from any Mets writer or people who cover the Mets that I didn't see this tweet and say, oh, you disagree with this plan? Oh, this is a good... Bullcrap! You're not Met fans! I've been wearing it since 1986! A 7-year-old! I'm done punting! I don't even want to see the Jets or Giants punt, let alone the Mets or Yankees.
Jets better not be punting. Jets better be going for it every single time with Rodgers. Keep going.
BT, I can't take it anymore. That's my issue. I understand, yes, logically, right? You tell me, hey, look at the return. I get it. I'm not knocking the return. I'm not knocking upgrading the farm system.
You're not.
I'm done punting. This is supposed to be a year where they get back to the postseason. And now not only is this year ruined, it's next year. It drives me up a wall.
I got to just tell you, though, one thing that you might be missing.
Go ahead.
An aggressive offseason. Don't rule it out.
I don't know what to believe on that yet. I'm torn here on it. First of all, I'm still recovering from trading Verlander yesterday. Even though I knew it was coming, even though now it's happened, I'm still recovering from that.
The guys made 13 starts. Stop making it seem like you just traded Tom Seaver.
But look at what they're
getting.
No, it's not that. It's that he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. I like, call me crazy, I like bringing in good players. I like keeping good players. Verlander's good. I wanted Scherzer out not because he's good and because he's expensive and because they want to rebuild. I wanted Scherzer out because he sucked. He was horrible when he was here. Billy Epler should be taking bows for finding a sucker to take Max Scherzer on. Verlander's different. He was good. He was just starting to return to his old form, and I looked at him, pencil him in as an ace next year. Who the hell is pitching? Look at the list of free agents. Urias, Yamamoto, whatever the guy from... I don't even know who these guys are. Verlander's a legitimate stud.
All right, let me frame it this way. 2 years ago, now I know it didn't work out, but did you ever think you'd have a rotation led by Scherzer and Verlander? Of course not.
No, but it was DeGrom at the time.
No, I got you. All I'm saying is leave open the little sliver window of possibility that the next big move doesn't have to be an obvious one.
I need an ace. That's number one.
You're going to get one?
You think the Mets will get an ace?
You're going to get one eventually.
They don't have an ace or number 2 right now.
You're going to get one. I'm not saying you're going to have one next year.
But that's my problem.
Yeah.
So in my mind, BT, and maybe
Yankees have an ace. They're not going anywhere.
All right, fair enough. But to me, to get in, and I've been telling you about this, I like the way the Yankees will wind up if they could ever get in the postseason.
Yankees are trash.
But with the Mets, I need an ace to know that I can compete next year. They don't have that. Mike is calling from Bayonne. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Mike.
Hey, gentlemen. Good morning.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Sal. I've called you a couple times, Sal, over the last couple of years, and going into last season, I was pumped. We had Mary Buck miss. Mm-hmm. We were on a roll. Then we had the trade deadline, and Epler spit the bit. And going forward, I have no confidence in what this man is going to do. Verlander was the only chip we had going into the season next year in this rotation. He has zero feel for this roster. He brings up a third catcher instead of Mauricio. He's got a guy, Ortega. I've never heard of this guy.
No, hold on. Let me just stop you here because I think you're missing the big picture. This is beyond Billy Epler. This is Steve Cohen. Billy Epler's not the one deciding what the payroll is going to be next year, and that's what I'm concerned about. I can't get into the. By the way, if you want to get into the minutia, you talk about Mauricio should be here. Billy Epler told you Brett Beatty was not ready. How has Brett Beatty looked?
Oh, it's terrible, Sal. It's awful. This team's not going anywhere. So you might as well find out what you got because Beatty's not the answer. Then you turn around in the offseason and you make the decision on what we're going to do with third base. You bring up these kids, you see what we got, and then you reevaluate in the offseason because we're not going nowhere right now. It's over.
But that's a different, and thank you for the call, Mike. I appreciate you taking the time to call. That's a different conversation, BT. He's trying to get on Epler and talking about, bring up this guy, bring up that guy. Epler told you Beatty wasn't ready. Met fans were saying, Beatty. Beatty's been here. Beatty's done nothing. Mm-hmm. So Epler was right. He's been proved right again. I think Epler's had a tremendous season as far, look, there are some things that went wrong. Trevor Gott, and you could talk about some of the moves that obviously didn't work out that the Mets have failed. But Epler's done a great job here at the deadline, maximizing a lost season and also being proven correct in the development or lack thereof in some of these farmhands here. This is about Steve Cohen, the bigger vision.
Well, it is, but I also think, listen, nothing's going to supersede Cohen and his presence and his spending potential and the shadow that he casts throughout not just Major League Baseball, but this city as an owner with the deepest pockets in any sport. He's so good for us, and eventually, as a city, he's so good and he will be, and he will deliver. I believe the Mets are championship. I believe eventually, right? Or he'll die trying, which is all you can ask. But I got to tell you, while nobody matches his shadow, I really think that with everything that's gone wrong this year, and it doesn't help you today, Sal. I understand that. Mm-hmm. But if Alonso's hitting home runs now, great, season's over. If Alonso would have been better, if Lindor would have been better, if McNeil would have been 80% of what he was a year ago, if Marte would have delivered this year instead of being up and down, I get it. You can yell about Scherzer and Verlander, and you're not wrong. But there are so many levels of culpability to this season's failures, including Buck.
Agreed, but this season is over. And
yep, it's over.
That's not the debate anymore. I'm worried about next year. I have already accepted this season as being over. We already go over the list of who's culpable, whatever, all that stuff. A lot of people. Uh-huh. I'm not even blaming Steve Cohen for this year. I'm worried about next year.
Yeah.
Tell me that come opening day next year, I can watch a team and have hope that they can compete legitimately to win a World Series.
I will tell you that you have a puncher's chance, certainly for a wild card. Let's leave it at that because you get into the postseason. I guess to your point about the Yankees, you get there, right. You never know what could happen. I would answer in a positive way if you told me that you think next year Lindor's going to hit 285. Or you told me McNeil's going to hit 306.
Which, by the way, I expect bounce-back years for at least a couple of the guys.
Yeah, I got you. But you don't expect Lindor to suddenly become something that he's probably never going to be again.
Right.
And that's the bigger issue with the Mets. I don't think they've got a championship core. I applaud them for recognizing the reality of where they are. And I know it sucks, and most of my teams, except the Yankees, and I know the Yankees are trash this year, all of my teams are like the Mets. The Jets, the Knicks, they give you no reward, so I get it from an emotional point of view, from a psychological point of view. I get it. What I'm saying doesn't help you today. I think you guys are in good hands. You can't cash that in at the bank today, but this is, and we'll get to the Yankees later. The Yankees, to me, are arrogant, are antiquated, and are obviously cheap.
Right.
I'd rather be the Mets at this point.
Well, I mean,
really would.
That's a different conversation,
I really would, though.
And we will get into that in a little bit. It's Brandon Tierney, Sal Licata.